The Longines Hong Kong International Horse Show is brought to you by Cathay Cargo.
Hello there and welcome to TVB Pearl's live coverage of the Longines Hong Kong International Horse Show. I'm joined in the studio once again by Joss Gray, who is the Senior Manager of Equestrian at the Hong Kong Jockey Club out at Bees River in the New Territories. And Joss, a good turnout once again at AsiaWorld-Expo.
It is, and everybody's very excited to see this Longines Grand Prix this evening. It's going to be a wonderful class. It's been a wonderful couple of days already of competition here at the Asian World Expo, and this world-class equestrian event's back in town, and it's very exciting for everybody. The crowds have had lots of great fun watching the activity the last couple of days. It's been very good.
Well, we have plenty to come this evening, a good couple of hours of action from the Asia World Expo. Before that, though, before we go live to the Grand Prix, that is, let's take a look at the Hong Kong Jockey Club Asian Youth Challenge. Now, Joss, I'm going to tap you for information again and explain what this is and how it works.
Oh, it's a wonderful opportunity for these younger riders to jump around a slightly smaller class than the professionals that come in from around the world. But it's a wonderful opportunity for the Hong Kong China riders to ride against the riders from the rest of Asia. They are riding horses that have come in from abroad, the foreign riders, and they are competing in this Hong Kong Jockey Club Asian Youth Challenge competition. And the rider we can see going around at the moment there is Carrie Wang, and she's riding Little Lady Van Ingelo, and she was the winner. As you can see, very happy with her round there, and there will be spectators there enjoying seeing that home win. Carrie there.
Well, Joss, you were explaining before we went on air the highest barriers that we see here are 1.6 metres, but for this youth section, roughly how high?
They're 1.10 metres.
Okay.
So they're a little bit smaller, but I mean, it's the big thing about jumping in this arena here is obviously you can see the atmosphere. It's a very big competition to be competing in, as you can see them coming out now, that it's what the older professional riders are used to at many points of their year as they go through. But for these younger riders, it's really being on a big stage, and so the height of the fence is a little bit smaller, but the atmosphere is equally as challenging as for everybody else.
Is part of the reason for riding a horse that you haven't ridden before, is it like a great equaliser? There's a lot of motor racing series around the world where all the cars are exactly the same, to make sure that it's just done on driver skill. Yeah. Is it a similar scenario, or
no,
just coincidental?
No. Here we've got our Hong Kong horses here, and there is a very big sort of biosecurity bubble in this country, so we've got to be very careful about the horses that come in and out of the country. So the horses that did come here for the international riders all came from one stables and came here to be available for these international riders. So obviously the international riders slightly disadvantaged, having not really ridden these horses much in the past or at all, and maybe the Hong Kong riders knowing these horses a little bit better, but really at the end of the day, it's this big atmosphere in this ring, and all the riders here gaining so much experience, and you can see this is where the riders of tomorrow will be gaining all their experience to go and compete on the world stage. And these riders have all managed to have a competition each day over the 3 days of this international competition, and the horses and riders all getting more and more confident and more experience as the days have gone through.
Okay, so that's it for the Asian Youth Challenge. We'll be back in a moment after this break with the Grand Prix.
In Liverpool, which is the one with the water tray underneath at fence 5. Carry on right-handed now to fence 6, which is the Longines fence, the Longines Oxer, which as you can see a jump with a back rail on, followed by the planks at 7, and then head left-handed back again past the entrance towards fence 8, which then runs you down to a treble. So you run down here on 5 strides, which leads you then to fence 9, A, B and C. And this is combinations 2 strides and then followed by 1 stride over a big oxer and out, and then they'll come right-handed and then head back down to the oxer at 10. So they're sort of a good way through the course now as they head down on on 4 strides down to the Longines skinny fence, which is a bit of a narrower fence, but it's the Longines fence, and then they can be left-handed to the oxer, which is the last fence there, which is the London fence. And then through the finishing line. So this first round that they've got in this Longines Grand Prix, it'll all be about getting that all-elusive clear round, which if you get into the jump-off afterwards, that's when we'll see the horses and riders really going for it speed-wise.
And just a reminder, these barriers are all 1.6 metres. They're all the same height?
It's a 1 metre 60 course. Those are the maximum parameters. And yes, it's as big a course as you can get, really. And it's the sort of the height of the courses you'll have at the Olympic Games. So this sorry.
I was just going to say this is a combination of 3 days of this event.
Yeah.
And it is Hong Kong has been part of a series in the past, but now this is a standalone event.
Absolutely. So we had this competition just a year ago here at the AsiaWorld-Expo. It's the Longines Hong Kong International, and it's an amazing chance to showcase these incredible horses, not only the ones that come in from the elite show jumping world coming into Hong Kong, but also horses that are actually in Hong Kong at the moment, and a chance to showcase some wonderful horses that are enjoying second careers after racing, and a good chance to keep all the crowds entertained. And there's been lots of great entertainment here over the last few days with some dog agility and some Shetland pony racing and seeing the musical ride. So it's been a wonderful, entertaining show. And as you can see there, the horses just warming up there in the warm-up arena. So this warm-up arena is literally sort of 50 meters away from the main arena, and they come through the curtains into the main arena for this Longines Grand Prix. And for show jumping, for these horses to be show jumping in quite a small space, it really does. It's a lot of demand on riders' precision and accuracy in their riding, and being able to have these horses so well trained that they can come around and jump these enormous fences in a very tight environment. But as you can imagine, for these horses, they go from this environment here where horses are herd animals, so you can see them walking around, enjoying chatting to their friends potentially, and being with other horses, and then they go through the curtains into this theatre, and they're all on their own. So it's all about the partnership between the horse and the rider as they go through those curtains. So it's.
Can you just tell me a bit about the surface they're riding on? Is it sand or is it a mix?
It's a mix. It's sand. It's got a waxy component to it. It's been we've got top professionals bringing this special surface in, which throughout the show has to be graded quite often. And every time the horses have done one of these classes, they come in and they work very hard on the footing, because it's so important for these horses that are going to be performing on this surface, that it's the best footing you can have.
Yeah, so, and the depth of it, you can't have it too deep, but you can't have it too shallow either.
Correct, yes, it's got to be exactly the right consistency to be optimal for the horses to perform at their best and to reduce any injury, and it's very scientifically done, and years and years of experience to get it as it is. But it looks like we've got our first competitor in the arena already, and this is none other than Richard Vogel. He's number 6 in the world. And he's riding one of the many beautiful grey horses that have been competing here at Longines. He's riding Claudio. It's a lovely grey horse, a 12-year-old. And Richard's been having a great show so far. He's a lovely rider. And so he'll certainly be one of those riders, I'm sure, setting the standard early on in this class. If you're a competitor, it's always nice to see a rider go out and be one of the best riders and sort of show what's possible and show what's doable. So we'll watch this lovely horse here. I'm not sure what we can pick up on the TV cameras, the sound, but the crowd noise when you're there really is, when everybody gets excited, is really quite loud. So you can see these horses are just wonderful athletes and really trust their riders. And you always talk about the rider having good hands. You can see how he's not interfering. These horses given every chance to be able to really assess the jump and be athletic over them. That jump's just coming away from the entrance there. It's down this treble. That'll be one to watch, I'm sure, for the rest of the class. That treble is the last, and that's, as I thought, a very good start to the class. Again, just
so relaxed. What should we be looking out for here, or what would a rider be looking out for? Something that might spook a horse. What are the things that put a horse off?
Well, the horses that will be competing here in this class are certainly horses that have seen a lot, and there is so much going on that actually the horses really are so used to the amount of things happening.
Crowd noise,
everything.
Anything.
They're just used to everything. And actually, funnily enough, horses are more spooky at things that are abnormal. So these horses may be back at their own home in their own stables, working in an arena at home, and suddenly there's a new plastic bag in the hedge. They'll be far more worried about that than 50,000 people waving things at them in a crowd. So it's the unusual that they tend to get something that shouldn't be there that's suddenly there. But that was a wonderful round to watch. As I thought, it would be a great sort of start to the class, and you might see that.
Well, Joss, I'm going to let you pronounce this horse's name.
Yes, well, I'll pronounce the rider, Yuri Mansour.
Okay, and I'll try the horse, okay. Alano Delabri Z.
Oh, very good. Okay, well, I think we both did reasonably well there. He's the Brazilian rider. He's again had a good show the last few days, and he's riding this 11-year-old chestnut gelding, and let's see. We've had such a great first round from Richard Vogel. So it'll be down to see whether the course was straightforward or whether he just made it look straightforward. And course designer of this course is Bernardo Costa Cabral. He's from Portugal, and he's got a team. You can see in the team in the corners of course builders, all working hard to get this course looking as good as it is. It's a good round so far.
We didn't get a chance to see it on here, but the riders do usually go out and they will walk the course before riding it.
He's just had one down there, yeah. So So one round. Yes, exactly. So what will happen is they get a chance immediately before the class to walk around the course, see where they're going, but more importantly, know the striding between the fences. So effectively, when the rider walks the course, they'll walk a couple of strides. 2 strides after the fence will be where the horse lands, and then for every stride the horse takes, that'll be 4 of your human strides, and then 2 strides away probably is where you can take off from. So they'll walk the distances to see whether the distances are going to ride a bit short or a bit long. And certainly at this level, the course designers are all designing the courses to make them on half strides or where you have forcing to having to make an adjustment. And if you don't make the adjustment, you're going to ride there on sort of a very difficult stride. So we've so Yuri Monsieur, they're just leaving the arena after having that rail down. So still have Richard Bogle in the jump off. So I think this is him coming down to just neatly jumped there through the double. And this was where you had the planks. And there we've got a very thin planks on top of that fence. And they are incredibly light. You just have to touch those and they're going to come down. So an unfortunate 4 faults for him, as we now welcome to the arena Barbara Schneiper, and she's a Swiss rider, and she's riding L'École. She's a 10-year-old mare, so had a couple of. But actually, Claudio, the first horse, Richard's horse, was a stallion, and we've had a gelding. He came in second, and then this is a mare now, so we've had a variety of horses in so far. But it's when you've got show jumping of this caliber and horses of this caliber, everybody is really quite quiet in the arena. Pops there over fence 5 over the water tray and then jump the Longines. This is the fence that Yuri Monsieur had down, but no trouble for her. It's coming down to the treble. It's beautifully done through there. 3 left to go. Is this going to be another into the jump off? It is. That's great. We've got 2 horses there. Now into the jump off. A very happy rider.
Oh, very happy.
Yeah.
Barbara Schneiper is over the moon with that.
It's a lovely round. And you can see the bonds between riders and the horses. They're trained together for years, and there's such a partnership to be able to compete at this level. Yeah, this horse a wonderful ride. And just having a rerun then over the last. That's a lovely round. So we now welcome into the arena Julien and Quentin. He's a French rider, Blood Diamond Dupont. And he's got horses a little bit older, but 15. But these horses anywhere between 10 and 18, sort of 10 to 15, 16 is their prime generally. So 15 is still some few more years to go. And this French rider ranked 85th in the world. Over the Cathay Cargo Oxa.
I was going to say, sometimes you look and you think it's close, but I guess they're all close.
Yeah, you've got to take off at just the right point. The dimensions are towards the extreme of what the horses can do, and you've got to make sure that you get to exactly the right place to get the right trajectory over the fence to clear it.
I mean, have you ever heard of a course being laid out and riders walking the course and more than one of them coming back and saying it's too tight? Do you ever get that?
Well, there's very good. That's another one into the jump off, which is great news. We've got 21 riders in this, so we've got our third clear already, which is great news. So we're going to have a wonderful jump off a little bit later. Yeah, well, certainly the course builders are always there to test the riders, and I'm sure there's always riders that will come back and say, well, this is if some of the distances don't suit their horse in particular, it's
gamesmanship.
It's gamesmanship, a bit of gamesmanship. Always people, and then obviously the people that win the class are always the happiest afterwards. But as I say, the course designers are always there testing the riders. You can't really test it anymore with the height and the width. You're testing them with the accuracy of their turn and how well the horses are balanced and trained to be able to operate in that certainly in these tight areas here, to be able to be trained enough to come out of a turn balanced enough to be able to jump this height. And then the riders the horses being adjustable enough between the obstacles so that they can then jump clear. That's the clever course designing that tests the rider and the horse, the partnership. So it looks like we've got Cohen Verrijke, and he's from Belgium. I'm sure I've given him a bit of a Dutch twang to my pronunciation there, which I'm sure he might don't know whether he'll thank me for it. But Belgian rider, and he's riding Merriweather VT Lowenreichenhof.
Sounds good to me.
Yes.
I think that was...
I won't keep trying on that name.
Good pronunciation. Once is enough.
Rail there into the double. It's always difficult when you've had a rail quite early on. But it's even if you're not in the jump off at the end, still wonderful experiences for these horses. Oops, another rail there. These horses to jump in these environments, gaining more mileage experience. So he's on 8 faults currently. There's a Longines fence there. Back to the London fence. So 2 down. He's disappointed, I'm sure.
Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back at AsiaWorld-Expo in just a moment. And welcome back to live coverage of the Grand Prix.
And we are in the ring here with Eikin Sato. He's the Japanese rider riding Kampai 3. And he's clear over the last. He'll be over the moon with that, as you can see. Very happy indeed. And yes, certainly great result. Clear round. That's another horse now into the jump off. So it's really going to be a great jump off afterwards. Sometimes if the courses are really challenging, you end up in a situation where you have one horse on the jump off and it ends up not being not being very entertaining. So it's this is going to be great, because with our 21 competitors in this, looks like we're getting enough horses in here. It's really going to be a challenging jump off afterwards, and then we'll see these riders really putting their foot to the floor and going as fast as they can around the course. The next horse now is a British rider, and that's Sami El Dahan. He's riding Oscar A, and this is 12-year-old bay horse, as you can see here. He's representing Great Britain.
So, Joss, when we cut to a wide shot here,
yeah,
the audience can see how narrow this course is. Is it especially narrow, or just a little bit?
These indoor international competitions this is pretty standard, really, size-wise, and as you can see, the riders and horses get to compete in these sort of dimensions, but it's really quite incredible. You can, certainly from spectators' point of view, you can see on one side where the people are having dinner literally with a horse that weighs 500 or 600 kilos right beside them, jumping over their dinner plate actually.
A little bit like being at the Palio in Italy.
Yeah, and it's amazing how these horses perform in these amazing environments. So down the treble here, beautifully done. So making the last 3 fences here now, fence 10. So just the London to go. Another clear, very good. So another happy rider.
So smooth, just flying over the top of those, and a very happy rider.
There really are some beautiful horses at the show. As I mentioned earlier, in the warm-up arena, which is just about 50 metres away through those curtains, just watching the calibre of horses that are warming up, all of them amazing athletes, and great partnerships with their riders. So, certainly a lovely round. So, as we welcome into the arena now, we've got Hans-Dieter Dreher, and he's riding Couscous 3, representing Germany. And he's, again, as I mentioned, these lovely grey horses, and I've stood in that corner for the last few days watching him show jump, and this horse is just beautiful.
Why do you have a particular liking for the greys?
I've competed grey horses in the past, and one of my favourite horses was a grey. And they're just very beautiful. But I mean, if you just watch this horse's expression as he's jumping, he is just a wonderful looking horse. Looks very graceful and majestic over the fences. I hope I'm not going to give him the commentator's curse here, building it up. But there's certainly some very beautiful grey horses at this show, and this horse has jumped some lovely rounds this week. So first rider in the arena was Richard Vogel, again from Germany, so this is our second German rider in the class. Now making his way back over that fence away from the entrance, heading now down this treble. And actually, this treble jumped very well. I thought it might cause the odd problem, but it's been jumping very well. 2 to go. Could this be another in the jump off? No problem for him too. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Beautiful round and some very happy spectators there. Very good. That's another beautiful round. Couscous 3. Just a beautiful horse as he just leaves the arena there. We'll see him again in the jump off.
Well, if you're talking about beautiful horses, my pick so far is the Brazilian rider on an amazing chestnut-coloured horse, like a really particularly beautiful colour.
Well, that second horse in was Yuri Mansour.
Yes, Yuri Mansour. Yeah, Alona de la Brized was the horse, which we'll get another look at. And just for those of you who are wondering, the famous John Whittaker, the 70-year-old British rider, is taking part here in Hong Kong this year. Absolutely,
and he was here last year, and every time John Whittaker comes in the arena, definitely the decibels of the applause rise twofold.
Yeah.
He's definitely
he's a legend.
He very much is an international treasure. Everybody loves watching him compete, and he's obviously there's nothing left to win that he hasn't. But yes, as you say, 70 years old. But in the arena now, this is Mel Thiessen, and she's from Holland, from the Netherlands, and she's riding Juice. This a 12-year-old mare. Again, saw her yesterday. Jump a lovely round.
And just double checking, Joss, you're saying the premium age is about 15 or 16, is that right?
Well, the horses, they're in their prime, really, sort of between 10 and 16, really.
Okay.
And, but there are plenty of horses that still win lots when they're 17, 18, but that's their prime, really. So, yeah, through the double there was an early fault. One of the other riders in that first element of the double, but no problems for Mel. She just had a back rail there, the Longines, and that's just rattled the horse a little. So that often happens when a horse has a rail, they just get a little bit tight, and then just take that to the next fence, and it's just unravelled a little bit. It's these rounds about having credit in the bank. Sometimes horses they don't like touching the fences there. These horses aren't jumping. Well, she's just decided to go past the last fence, and sometimes that happens just when you know you're not in with a placing. She's just retiring there.
Just to clarify, that's not a refusal, is it?
Well, it is
in a way
a refusal and then a retirement. So effectively, she came round the corner. She'd obviously out of contention with her fences down. Came round. Maybe the horse she hadn't quite got the horse lined up and balanced and ready for that fence, and just decided to go past it and circle away, and then rather than come back and jump it for no reason when you're not in a competitive position, then they're not. It was just mentioning about having credit in the bank. Sometimes with these horses, they're careful by nature. That's why they're so good at this show jumping without being so careful, because they don't want to touch the fences. That when they have one rail, two rails, they just get a little bit tight. A bit like humans would be playing tennis or whatever. You play a couple of bad shots, and suddenly you've got the.
I would say golf.
But just got a little bit tight there, and then had a couple more rails. So unlucky round there for Mel Thiessen on Juice. As we now welcome in our next rider, who is Kevin Stout, and he's riding Queen's Baloo B. And he's a French rider. He's 27th, ranked 27th in the world. And he is riding this 11-year-old chestnut, gelding. And it's our second French rider in the class so far. So certainly these first few fences haven't caused any problems so far. Now down to this double. Yeah, a little bit of a rub.
That was close.
And you can see how light those poles are. I mean, the horse hardly touched it, and you can see it rolling in the cup.
Yeah.
And the cups are, obviously keep the fences up, but they're very shallow. So, see, the shallower the cup, the more that really, just a tiny bit of sort of a tap on them can cause them to fall down. But that wasn't quite a tap. That was more than a tap. That was just getting a little bit low there, down towards the end of the treble. So, unfortunately, this won't be a horse in the jump-off. Coming now around to the last fence. And no problem with that. So, an unfortunate couple of rails there. And again, it's just another one of those sort of had the last element down the treble there, and then just got a little bit tight and had the next rail. Maybe a little disappointed with that, but again, it's quite an atmosphere to be jumping in. As we now are going to welcome our next rider in. You can see this is the entrance there with these curtains that lead to that warm-up arena, as I mentioned earlier. It's just that last element there down the treble, and then coming around clear over the last. So we now welcome our second Dutch rider, and this is Sanne Thiessen, and I would certainly think that she's related to Mel Thiessen, both from Holland, and Joppe.
Same spelling.
Yep, and she's riding Joppe Amazing JR. And this, so let's see if we can get another horse into the jump off. So we've got some good microphones in there. You can hear the hoof beats. They come back around towards these fences. Again, you can just hear those little taps on that double. That double has certainly been one of the fences that's had the most rubs so far. And that's that grey plank I was telling you about, which really is very lightweight and very thin. It's to keep it's quite a bit of an optical illusion almost as they come down to it.
Quite a few clips there.
Yeah, so that plank's come down a few times. Just coming now towards the last fence now on the course again. So after that little flurry of horses getting into the jump off, we've now had a few four falters and a couple down. So unfortunately Sanne won't be in the jump off. And you can see the arena party there dashing about, putting the poles back up as quick as they can. And that's that double I was mentioning before. The microphones were picking up the little tapping noises as the horses go down through there. But this is where the horse just didn't quite get the height over that, and just a little bit flat, but lovely over the last. And so we now welcome our next rider, and this is Dominic Fleur, and he is riding Ghost, and he represents Switzerland. You can see the riders just having a little look at the course, just
one of 3 Swiss riders taking part in the Grand Prix.
Yeah, absolutely. See, so it's all about the warm-up beforehand is all about getting the horses ready to be exactly in the right frame of mind and prepared for this course. And as I mentioned earlier, the early parts of the course to here, he's done that nicely, till that point, been jumping really, no one's really touched anything, and it's where the questions come up a little bit later on in the course. But certainly if he jumps this, then this is looking like a good round so far. Travel out the way. One left to go. Could this be another in the jump off? It is. Fantastic. Very good.
Huge applause as well for that run.
There's a great crowd there. Everybody definitely enjoying watching these incredible riders and their horses, incredible horses jumping around this 5-star in a wonderful atmosphere. So you can see there all the spectators really up against the side of the arena. It's and you've got, whenever you have any equestrian sports, it's quite amazing being up close to these amazing athletes when they're just the noise they make, the noise of the hooves as they.
It's also it's so hard to tell from up here how high these are, but when you're standing there, you get a much better idea if you're standing at ground level.
100%. You hit the nail on the head there. I think
very impressive.
I think it goes for most sports, doesn't it? If you watch Formula One, it doesn't look that fast on television, but it's very fast in real life. And, and even downhill skiing, doesn't it? You stand at the top of a downhill skiing slope. It is very steep, but on TV it looks like they're going down a not too challenging slope. But it's the same with these jumps. They look big, but they're huge. And I'm quite tall. Even when you stand beside them, they are huge.
So this is Johan Sebastian Gulliksen from Norway.
Yeah, and he's riding Equine America Hardwich VDL. He's a 14-year-old chestnut. Definitely feels like once they get to that double and they pop through there and they pop through there nicely, it feels like they're in the course and up with a very good chance of going clear. This is the bogey fence. No trouble for Johan Sebastian. It's the horse really making a bit of room for himself down that combination. Last 3 fences to go. Last one. Could it be another one in the jump off? Oh, it is. Fantastic. Very good. It's really going to be a wonderful jump off coming up. It's great to see these combinations getting into the next round. It really is. You can see these horses, their athleticism and their way of going is really testament to the partnership of these riders, that all the training they've had together, all the training and the months and the years to get to this point, to be able to jump over these dimensions and these complexities of these courses. As we now welcome into the arena, this is Anthony Boucard, and he's a Swiss rider, Fontainebleau, Marseillaise. And this is an 11-year-old chestnut, and Anthony's ranked 160th in the world. Anthony Boucard. So, let's see if we can get Anthony into the jump off too. It'd be great to have another. To really make use of all the space you can in these tight arenas, especially to that first fence. Really make sure the horse is really focused. It's usually first and the last fences are the ones that you pay the most attention to. This double here. That's beautifully done.
So smooth so far.
It is. It's got over that bogey fence of the planks, down to the treble now. The first element there, little tap. Still clear. 3 fences to go. very good.
Yeah.
Another one into that jump off. It really is that middle part of the course, isn't it? The first few fences, really no one's having a problem with it. As soon as they get through to the pink double, and there's that middle part of the course with those planks and treble and the Longines fence. Once they negotiate all that, the last three fences seem to be jumping very well as well. So it's great to see these horses coming through to the jump off. So that was Nancy Boucard from Switzerland.
And another very familiar name coming up next.
Yes, Roger Yves Bost. So he is from France, exactly. So
regular face here in Hong Kong.
yes, he's a very experienced rider. He'll be a really good class or two over the last couple of days. So he'll be looking to keep his streak going. So French rider, Ballerine du Villepillon. It's a 15-year-old chestnut. So.
And Roger is ranked 87.
Yep, he is in the Longines ranking, which is the world ranking, and he'll be one of the more senior riders, not as senior as John Whittaker in terms of age, but certainly very, very experienced. He's over that pink double. Over that Longines. It's this line here, just coming away from the entrance down the treble, and he's still clear. He's definitely got a more of an old style riding wise. Got quite a lot of movement in his leg and his body, but it's very effective. As you can see, he's
good
clear.
time. Wow.
He's over and clear.
Yeah, gosh.
So that's another one into the jump off. Brilliant.
He's been around for a very long time, but looking very nimble here in Hong Kong at the AsiaWorld-Expo. 63.79.
He'll be very pleased with that indeed. Well, that's leading now to the last 6 riders in the class. And our next rider just coming into the arena in a minute, but that really was, I'm sure, for Roger Yves Bost, a great clear round for him to get into that jump off. It's going to be a very exciting jump off. Roger always definitely pushes it to the wire. As we've got our next rider now from Germany. This is Michael Vierweg, and he's riding Contario. And this is a 13-year-old stallion. So we've got a few stallions. We've got 4 stallions here at the Longines International over this 3-day competition. It's a really beautiful horse. And really gave that fence a bit of room, as you can see. Just seems to give those fences that little bit more height. I don't know whether you noticed with Roger's horse last round, just getting over the fences, doing just enough. Whereas this horse is really clinging. You can see. Oh, commentator's curse.
Absolutely.
Commentator's curse. I feel very bad for Michael Vierweg. Certainly the horse is jumping up. It's getting up to them. Such a shame. You only just touched that fence. You could hardly hear it drop. It just just breathed on it. Well, we definitely did hear that one drop. And as I said, sometimes down that middle part of the course, if you've had one, horses get a little bit tight and you have a couple more sometimes. But it is a beautiful horse, and I'm sure on its day be a little bit more fortunate. So yeah, that middle part of the course again just causing a few problems, and I'm sure he won't thank the commentator's curse there for me saying so many nice things in the beginning. But it is a lovely horse, and I'm sure he'll be out somewhere in the world soon, winning another class somewhere. So he was
sitting at 15th here and ranked 234, and a tough showing here in Hong Kong.
So these horses have had a chance to jump in a variety of classes over the last couple of days, and this is obviously the last day here at the Longines International. This is the Longines Grand Prix, the big class. So the horses have had an opportunity to compete already up to before this class here. As we now welcome in Simon Delestre, and he is from France, and that horse made a lovely shape over the first fence. And this is Golden Boy DK, certainly looking very scopy over the first couple of fences. See now, getting makes it look easy to that. It does feel that when they pop through that double and they give it plenty of air, that you're set up for a potential clear round. This is the bogey fence though. You can see the rider really, the seriousness on his face coming into that. It's certainly a fence that the horses have to respect. Trouble now. Ultimate to the last. Horse just a little buck on the turn. Oh, and he's through. Sometimes these horses do a little bit of a jolly hop behind in their back ends, and sometimes if that happens, just like you can see the horse there, little tail swish and a hop behind with its back legs. If that happens just at the wrong moment, your stride pattern can get a bit influenced coming towards your fence. So just did it on the last turn, heading towards the last fence, but not enough to put him off his stride. But again, beautifully through there. And over that Longines where some of the riders have had that back rail. It's great. It's great to have another horse into the jump off. And over that London fence at the end, making nothing of it. As we now welcome into the arena, Sasha Nygaard. And she is from Denmark, and she's riding Come On Coffee. Come On Coffee PS. Again, another beautiful grey horse. This is a grey mare, 10-year-old grey mare, so very young. And every one of these horses they've all got very different temperaments. You know, horses are like humans. They've all got different temperaments, and some you've got to come into the arena and gee them up a bit and say, come on, and almost sort of canter in and say, come on. I
remember we had a Danish rider last year, a young lady on a horse that was just, for me as an amateur, it was going nuts, kicking. Do you remember? It took them a good 10 minutes to calm it down.
Oh, I do remember. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I mean, horses do get a little bit of stage fright. They can, and they've all got different, as I said, different personalities. Some you have to really say, get their blood up a bit and canter in and say, come on. Some of them you have to come in and be really, just say, hey, be cool, be nice and relaxed, and then get them into gear, depending on their personalities. Oh, just a little slip there on the turn, so she's got to pick up that canter again, but she's back in gear. Beautifully through there. That really jumped that double. Those planks again. They really are tricky. They're off. You've jumped a very wide parallel there at the Longines Oxa. and then you come round and suddenly you've got this very vertical plank jump, which is so you've really opened the horse up, and suddenly you've really got to get the horse on and get it back underneath itself with its just really a shortened canter with this very innocuous looking grey plank that's not really enough to catch their eye and to see it, and then they just don't get the height over it, and that's caught a few of them out now. So she'll be very frustrated, that I'm sure, because
have the course designers done that on purpose to make it hard to see? Or
well, there's some fences that that blend in a little bit more into the background. Perhaps sometimes that you can see there's a bit of a grey rail there, maybe on going around the side of the arena. It's just not enough. I think if you painted it, if it was very brightly painted white, or just had enough that they saw it a little bit more, there might be a horse or two that. Well, she
there's
had a
the big
slip.
slip, yeah.
So she recovered well through there, because had a bit of a slip, but then straight back into gear. And there's just that, they're
catching it on the front as well, not the
yeah.
back. They
just open up quite a lot over that Longines fence, and then they're coming round the corner, and they don't really see the fence on that turn until the last moment, and it's just not enough on that rail to catch their eye.
Well, we suspected there'd be a huge cheer for this man, John Whittaker of Great Britain.
Here's John Whittaker. The word legend certainly would be under his name if you looked it up in the dictionary.
Yeah.
He's he's just won everything, and he's had so many great horses.
His son rides as well, I believe. Is that right?
Entire family. There's a dynasty.
Right.
There's a lot of family, all competing at the top level, and he is just. Yeah, he's just, every year you see him riding at his best. Just actually, he's actually riding a horse that's the eldest horse here too. So it's not only the oldest rider, it's the oldest rider on the oldest horse, because this horse is 18. As I mentioned before about horses being in their prime, sort of between maybe 10 and 16 sometimes, there are horses that are still jumping at this great level, at this level, even when they're 18 and a little above sometimes. Down to this treble now. Oh, such a shame. I thought the roof would come off if he went clear. Oh, it's such a shame. Just one to go. And he's over the last. Oh, that's such a shame.
A little kick out there.
Yeah, it was such a shame, because that last rail there down the treble just means that John's not going to be in the jump off, but you can still hear the affection in the crowd. Everywhere I've been the last 3 days, everybody, if anybody wants a selfie, it's got to be with John Whittaker, because he is
really quite the celebrity.
He is. He's so quiet and understated, and just gets on a horse and is a magician, and that's such a shame, because the noise that the crowd makes when John jumps clear and is really does take the roof off. Such a shame. He's just touched the back rail on that treble. Thought he was going to be clear. He did such a good job to those planks as well. Just breathed on it, and such a shame. Fine margins, that's the thing. Sport at this level. It's a bit like any sport, yeah.
So Geir Gulliksen from Norway, riding Island VG.
Okay, good. It's a nice, easy one to pronounce.
Yes, finally.
So Geir Gulliksen, let's see if he's our penultimate rider in this first round. Let's see if we can get another couple in the jump off. Give it a little tap. He's over the bogey fence.
Almost brushed that.
So down this line now. Such a shame. And just those 3 fences now to finish. So that definitely is that middle part of the course. And it's again, as I mentioned before, but it's clever course designing. It's a very intense part of the course in the middle of that round where all the majority of the faults have been happening. But it's really where the questions that the course designer has asked. He's asked them to really open up over that oxo, then come around the corner and suddenly a fence that's not really catching their eye, and they really get a bit. And when they're underneath it, they're just not coming off the ground fast enough to those planks. And that was a shame because he did a good job to that. But that treble also causing an issue or two. So he was good over that. But that's the treble. There's a lot to look at for these horses when they come down these line of fences. What we can't see on television is you can't see from the horse's perspective. They're coming down to a sea of poles, basically. Coming down to a treble is 1, 2, 3 fences. They can't see the distance between them. They can just see a whole line of poles in a row, and they're jumping in. And you've set them up to jump in with the right amount of canter and jump that's going to be able to negotiate the distance in between them. But the horses are really just jumping in to a sea of poles, really. So it's
that's a very good way to describe it.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at Kevin Jochems from the Netherlands.
Our last rider in the first round.
Yeah, Ballo HP.
It is
the horse.
And he's a 12-year-old stallion. So, as I mentioned, in the stallion front, we've had 3. It's our 3rd stallion in this class. Had that early rail, and again, just as I mentioned before, once you've had one on this course, and he's retiring. And sometimes it's just you save your horse for another day. You know you're out of contention, and he's had a couple of rails and jumping around the rest of the course for no reason. It's you can see just a bit of a disappointing round there, and final horse there in that first round. But plenty of horses into the jump off, which is great news indeed.
Yes.
And the crowd, well, you can see desperate for more, but we've got a good jump off ahead of us, and we're, as you can see, looking forward to what will be. You'll see horses really being pushed to the limits in terms of their speed and their turns and their balance going around the course in this next round, because up to now it's all been about that elusive clear rounds. The horses, as you can see, are very much jumping within themselves, or obviously even though the course is big, they're not really being pushed for speed. And there's our jump off order.
So Richard Vogel of Germany will be getting things underway, running right through to Roger E. Bost.
Yeah, so it's, as you can see, it's when you've got 21 in the class, that's a very good, the course designer has done his job. He's managed to get all those the right amount of clears. You don't want to have nobody, and also you don't want to have everybody.
Yes.
Because what you've done is you've tested everybody, and as you can see there's plenty of horses on 1 down or 2 down, and such a shame to see John Whitaker having that rail, because he would have been a real crowd favourite in the final, but a great round coming up.
He certainly couldn't disguise the disappointment on his face, John Whitaker. Regardless, everyone loves seeing him here in Hong Kong. We'll take a quick break now and be back in a moment. And welcome back to TVB Pearl's live coverage of the Longines Hong Kong International Horse Show. So we are in between events here in the Grand Prix, and we're about to start the jump off. And just a reminder, I'm joined in the studio here for the commentary by Joss Gray from the Hong Kong Jockey Club. Joss, what is this?
Going on?
What is it?
This is all that. There's been so much fantastic entertainment here at this Longines International Hong Kong show. It's these chaps here. They are doing a bit of entertainment because when the jumps are being moved in and out of the arena, as you can see, there's activity going on in the background, building the jump off for the next round. These guys have been doing a bit of entertaining of human show jumping, and they've managed to get up really high on some of these jumps. It's quite incredible. You'll see them going up a hole or two all the time.
Who are they? They're not.
They're from France, and they as you can see, they are doing a sort of who can jump the highest competition, a puissance on foot, and they get pretty high.
Yeah.
But it keeps all the crowds entertained, and there's lots of clapping and cheering when people do that over the same fence. And yeah, so as I say, they've got to move a few jumps around in the background, so keep providing the entertainment in between the rounds, and I think they are now. Well, oh, they're still going. But there's been some wonderful entertainment here at this 3-day show. We've had, as I mentioned earlier, we've had some Shetland pony Grand National racing. We've had some dog agility. We've had some wonderful showcasing of the race, the wonderful Hong Kong racehorses enjoying their second career in the musical ride. It's been certainly crowds really enjoying the activities here.
It's supposed to be a fun night out, particularly. Oh well, he's got the barrier, but the whole VIP table set up here, the shopping that's available. It's supposed to be.
It is a wonderful
like
show.
A festival.
It is, absolutely. It's got everything, as you say. It's got all these wonderful exhibitions and all these shops in the other side of the hall away from this main arena. They've got Lifestyle Shopping Village, which has got equestrian gear and fashion and all sorts of things, interior design and all sorts of lifestyle leisure shops, and so that all the crowds have had a great time indulging in some shopping and eating and drinking, and then obviously in this main arena here they get to see all this entertainment. This is going to be quite an achievement, because that's a pretty big jump.
Yeah.
Not bad on 2 legs. So I think looks like they've definitely.
Well, of course, that's what they in the Olympics. That's the way they used to do high jump.
It is
before the Fosbury flop came.
Exactly right. Yes, and
it became the norm.
Absolutely. I remember seeing the footage of people who used to jump that way, didn't they?
Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah. So as you can see there, the arena is just getting adjusted now for this jump off, where we're definitely going to see the horses in a totally different gear. You'll see them coming in, and really to win it, you have got to go quick. And all of these top riders on top horses, it's going to be whoever takes the biggest risks, the biggest chances, and so we're just going to follow the course here now. You start off this time over what was fence 3. The boat's coming down to the second element of that double, so the first element's gone now this time, and then they make that right-handed turn, but you can see they're coming round that island there where the clock is. Some will come to the inside of that potentially and jump fence 14. Then they head back down to fence 2, which is fence 2 in the last round. It's going to be quite a big oxer, and then they come left-handed back down to what was fence 8 before, coming away from the main arena, from the gates, and then head down now towards the last element of that. They're having the BC elements of that treble, so it won't be a treble, it'll be a double now. And then they have to really move down to this last Longines fence here. So where it'll be in the turns, it'll be where they cut in to save some time, and it'll be who dares gallop down to that last fence and take a chance a little bit, and really that'll be the fence. You'll hear the crowd really hit. The roof will come off when someone makes the time jumping that last fence. It'll be who dares wins to that last big oxer.
I mean, it's a great crowd here yet again. Is the sport growing in Hong Kong? Is participation growing, or it's steady, or? Well,
obviously we've got the world-class racing in Hong Kong, and we've got a very vibrant equestrian community, and there's lots of There's lots of Hong Kong Jockey Club establishments. And
well, yes, I mean,
I
regularly hike past the Pok Fulham facility, which has been completely redone now.
Absolutely, yes. It's an amazing new sort of space age looking indoor school. They've got an indoor school, an arena that's almost on the roof. It's quite amazing. It's brand new, but no, a very vibrant equestrian community. Hong Kong Jockey Club, very, as you can see, with all the logos everywhere, very collaborating a lot with the running of this Longines International competition here in Hong Kong. They're up to all the logistics in making all this possible. So we now wait for our first competitor.
So Richard Vogel.
It is. He started off earlier. He's going to be the one to beat, I reckon. Number 6 in the world. It's a lovely grey horse. You can just see him getting up a gear, getting ready to get into gear so that he's through the start line, wasting no time whatsoever. So there's that coming round the clock. So.
And no change to the height of these barriers, still 1.6 metres.
Yeah, I've always had a rail, yeah. So, one down. So, through what was the treble, just the last 2 elements, and then this is where whoever's going clear will really travel down to that last fence. But you can see he's had a rail down. It just looked like he just took the foot off the gas a little bit. Where I thought they might cut in a little bit around fence, after fence 4 to 10, or what looked like it possible on the plan, as the way you can see there on the screens, it's going to be impossible to go through the gap there now. So everybody will be coming around that clock down at the bottom of the end of the arena. But yeah, you could just see the way he started off there, really up a gear, and the horses are really got to be travelling as they go through the start. But once he's had a rail, you can just see that really you've got a chance. There's a good chance of being second, third, fourth with one down, depending on who was the fastest of those 4 falters. But there will be a clear round in here somewhere for sure. Next competitor. This is Barbara Schneider on Licol, Switzerland. She now. So it seems that just being the second element of that double now seems a bit easier than the double that was earlier in the first round. Over that Cathay Pacific fence. And just the double this time. And this is it. This is how quick they get to the last. You can see them really upping a gear. Who's going to travel down to this? Oh, and you could really see as she jumped the double, she turned the corner and thought, I'm clear, I've got to move up a gear because everybody's going to move up a gear to get to that last fence. And just by opening up and getting a little bit flatter and faster, just didn't make the height. Disappointed, but she'll certainly be one of the quicker 4 falters.
Boy, she had a good look back when that rail came down.
Yeah.
She looked behind her.
Well, it's the golden rule in show jumping is you don't look behind you normally, but
See, just there.
She did, but she's over the last fence and she knew she'd had it just by the noise. But generally, when you're jumping a course, and if you've had the second one or the third,
you just keep looking ahead.
You keep looking ahead, yeah. But over the last, you can hear it get clunked. But yes, it's he who dares wins. He or she who dares wins to that last fence, which is that big oxer. And you can really tell that the riders jump that last double on before they turn to the last. It's being as quick as you can, but as calm as you can. Oh, gave that a rattle. Oh, that's a bit of a tight turn to that. It just wasn't quite and a good enough balance to get the height. He still wants to be one of the quicker four-faulters. And a lovely jump over the last, frustrating. So we're still waiting for our first clear. So that was Julien Antoquin, four faults. So we've had 3 in so far, each of them with one down. So sometimes what happens in these classes, everybody's given it a good shot and gone around as quick as they can. A lot of them have had a rail down. You come to the last person, they just got to jump clear, and if they go clear, they've won it. So they don't have to go foot to the floor and then they jump a clear round, and they just have the fortune of going last, knowing that everybody's had a rail. But I'm thinking we might not get to that stage. We might have had 3 riders with 1 down. Favourite Richard Vogel out of winning if someone does go clear. But now we've got our British rider. We've got Sami El Dahan, and he's riding Oscar A. Just getting composed before they start. You can see everybody right up against the edge of the arena, see how close everybody gets to the action. So we're getting to the serious end of this Longines Grand Prix. Beautiful jump over the first. And the second. You can tell I'm sure that the riders coming towards the end of this class is stick or twist, isn't it? Do you go for it, thinking someone might go clear after you, or do you want to play it safe and be a clear? Okay, what's he going to do to this last fence? Easy, it's our clear round. Into the lead there. But Sami El Dahan for Great Britain. Oscar A. A clear round into the lead. So a little bit of, you could tell there's been a few down with 1 down. So now everybody's has got a bit of pressure on them because he's clear.
Yeah.
And they've got to go into the arena now and either push it to try and go clear and a bit faster and risk a rail.
So 38 seconds, 38.06 seconds, a touch of playing safe there.
It was a little touch. I mean, I don't want to say too much. It was a wonderful round. I mean, it just looked like after the last double, he stayed very composed, and you can tell the others sort of really bombed down to the last. He stayed composed and jumped the last a little bit like they were jumping the first round, very measured to the last. So whether someone can then come in now and go faster, I'm sure someone can. But as soon as you try going faster, you've got a chance of a rail. Just never got off the ground.
Very uncomfortable looking approach.
Yeah, it's just never really got off the ground, and now he's got to see whether he can be one of the quicker four-faulters, stay in the prize money. Yeah, I think he just over that pink fence just looked like he turned before he'd really jumped. He just looked a bit unbalanced. But over the last 4 faults, so just our 1 clear so far still. It's very, very good. It's really enjoyable watching a course like this. It's been designed so that that last fence really tests you. It's a real. Oh yeah, so just
almost twisting midair.
Exactly, just didn't. Just jumping to the side slightly. So we're really at that stage now in this class where you've got it's all or nothing. You've got to beat the British rider Sami El Dahan on Oscar A. You've got to not only be clear, but you've got to be quicker than him on 38.6. So here we've now got Dominic Verheer on Ghost for Switzerland over 1. This horse is starting to go. You can hear a pin drop in this place. Oh, he's had a rail early on. It's looking very good for the British rider at the moment. So again, you can tell that there's so many horses on 4 faults that the prize money's there for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. And he's had 2 rails, so that's certainly going to put him out of the money. And you can see now just taking a very measured approach to the last. And just had that as well. So unfortunately, just started off well, but then just fell apart a little bit towards the end with those 3 down. Again, it's, as I mentioned earlier, it's all, once they've had 1, then it's 2 or 3 sometimes. So, still in the lead, Sami El Dahan on Oscar A. It's the one to beat, 1 clear round so far. The rest, lots of 4-faulters. So, is there going to be someone else to challenge him?
I would guess yes. But let's see.
Everybody's going to challenge him. There's going to be plenty to challenge him, but is someone going to beat him? So, Johan Sebastian Gullikson for Norway, Equine America Hardwich, VDL. Lovely 14-year-old chestnut. You can just see them get up a gear before they start, because you've really got to go through that start and be travelling in the pace to win it. Pin drop in there. Quite a fence going away from the entrance. Fabulous through the double. Last one to go. Could this be another clear? Yes, it is. 37.6.
Wow.
There we go. Wow. You were right.
Yeah. Well, the opposite of commentator's curse.
Very good. So, into first place. Very happy rider, very happy horse. Fabulous. Fabulous round. Very good. Yes, it was for a while there looking like it might only be that 1 clear.
Yeah, I mean, El Dahan's time, just a reminder, was 38.06,
yeah.
and this was 37.06 as well, was it?
Yeah, 06.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So shaved.
The second?
Yeah, over. Very. Okay, next rider in. Anthony Boucard for Switzerland. Fontainebleau Mancier. Okay. Lovely little horse. That Cathay cargo fence is quite a meaty oxford open fence. So, four faulted down there, very unfortunate, but you can see he still wants to be one of the quicker ones. Lovely over the last, that was very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. So still just the 2.
And that puts him in 5th.
Yeah. Times are all very tight. Yeah, it's a lot of people were having those similar elements that they had in the round previously. These fences have jumped really well.
So the best time so far is rider number 3, Julian Ancretan, 34.18 seconds, I think it was, but he took a rail down.
He did. Well, here's the person we were talking about earlier. This is Roger Yves Bost for France, and he's riding Ballerine du Villepillon. And this 15-year-old chestnut mare getting ready to see if they can be just a third clear in this jump off. As I mentioned, he's going to be foot to the floor on this. Ooh, there's a bit of conversation going on there between the rider and the horse coming into that. Oh, just got over that. Double to go. Oh. He's clear still. He's going to gallop at this one probably. No. He turned tight and he's clear.
Oh my goodness, and what a time.
He's into the lead. My goodness, look at that time. He didn't need to gallop at the last one. He really made a tight turn after that last double. Straight back to the last Longines fence. Shaved quite a bit of time off there and into the lead.
Yes. So taking that lead from Gullikson, and it's the Frenchman now in front.
Unbelievable round. 34.94.
Yeah.
That's going to be a time to beat, isn't it? I mean, absolutely unbelievable.
That's, yeah.
But you can really see in terms of style that the rider and the horse having lots of conversations coming into the fence and sort of almost on different wavelengths it looks when they're coming into the fence, but they just get there and operate over the fence. It's quite incredible. Like you can see him coming, well, certainly coming down for a double. Him and the horse were having, he was talking a lot down the reins but the horse still kept the focus on the rails and clear.
Great ride.
Simon Deleuze. His horse up a gear to that. This is Golden Boy DK. Simon Deleuze from France. Beautifully over that. Jumps this double. And here the rider's talking to his horse. Okay, this is on for it. Let's go. Oh, into second it looks.
Oh yeah,
very good.
35-21.
Gave that a really good shot. Fabulous. That was a fantastic round as well. Very close, but it just shows how quick Roger Yves Bost was. Fantastic. What a class. Wow. Really, it's quite amazing the way all those early rounds all had the one down and the excitement kept on coming all the way to the end and saved the clear runs to the end. A win there for Roger Yves Bost. A very happy person, I'm sure. You can see him just there, just getting the saddle sorted out. They'll be coming back in for prize giving. And just looking at Simon Deleuze round again. That horse really jumps. It really was he gave him a run for the money, but it was that turn at the end that Roger seemed to really nail on that last turn to the last fence, and that was that second that they just lost a little bit there on that round. And you can see already getting ready for prize giving now. That really was a really wonderful class. It's wonderful course building to have a round like that, and there you've got the finishing places there down to 9th.
Yeah, I did want to double check that time. So it was 0.94 for Yves Bost, but it didn't matter in the end. Yeah. He was a clear winner here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that was a really fantastic. It was great. A really fantastic class there.
Okay, we are going to take a quick break right now and then come back for the prize presentation. So stay with us here at AsiaWorld-Expo. Welcome back to AsiaWorld-Expo here. We're just getting ready for the prize presentation for the Longines Hong Kong
International Horse Show, where we've just watched the Grand Prix, and Joss, a really exciting finish.
Oh, it really was. And just here on the screen now, you can see they're showing the rounds to show the first and second place, to see where one of them was at second ahead or not of the other one. So we got Roger, Yves Bost on the left of your picture there on the chestnut, and you can just see how close it was. Both of them heading now down towards that double before they make that roll right-handed back to the Longines, and to see Roger, that tighter turn there, and that's the difference. That 1 second. Yeah. And what a class! It was fantastic. We had just the right amount of horses into the jump off, and that was a really great great bit of footage there, seeing how the fine margins mean you win or you come second.
That is such a great way of doing it.
Yeah, and you can just see the riders now coming in for this for the prize giving ceremony. Very good to see them all after this is the last big class of this 3-day show, and you can imagine the feeling of winning the Hong Kong Grand Prix, Longines International.
It's just so great to see it still here in Hong Kong. Of course, it used to be part of a series, the Masters Series, which included, I think, the last time we did that as a series, LA, Paris, I believe, and Hong Kong. I think it was just the 3.
Yeah, this is more of a standalone international, Longines International standalone here competition in Hong Kong, and this is our 2nd year back, having this caliber of competition in Hong Kong is a real treat, as we see the winner of the Longines Grand Prix, the Longines Hong Kong International. Roger Yves Bost on the 15-year-old mare, and must be a very proud moment. Travelling around the world.
Very proud Frenchman there.
Very much.
And John Whittaker may be the old man celebrity of this event. Everyone loves seeing John Whittaker turn up. But Yves Bost as well. His name is so familiar here.
Absolutely. No, he's been on the circuit, the international circuit, for a long time.
Last time when you leave Hong Kong, you got loads of prizes away. And what do you think about your horse today, and how you feel about Hong Kong and the course?
I'm very lucky. I not win 5 stars a very long time. And to win in Hong Kong is always a very good honor. Normally, yesterday, I'm not sure to jump the Grand Prix. Today, she's amazing.
We can
Very
tell
lucky.
your horse is amazing.
I'm lucky to have the invitation. And I hope I come next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your commitment, and we welcome you, and we wait for you. Once again, big round of applause to Roger Yves Bost.
Actually, that's a great way to do an interview. Still mounted on the horse.
Absolutely. A very worthy winner there, and he'd be very, very, very happy with that result. As you said, he wasn't a 5-star for a while. So to travel around the world and come to the Longines Hong Kong International Horse Show and win the big class, what a moment.
I was just going to say, I believe that's a watch, part of the prize.
I'm sure he'll be wearing that to his favourite evenings out. That's a great prize. And Handing out some more prizes for the other riders, I'm sure. But, they're going to do a lap of honour now, where they're around the arena and celebrate a great result.
Yeah, basically share the moment with the audience.
Okay.
Again, good crowds here at AsiaWorld-Expo. It's a long way out of town, and always good to see such loyal fans making the trip.
Absolutely. And they've been highly entertained throughout this show. Okay. To be interviewed on a horse, but to be able to do the drinking too at the same time might be just a step too far.
Yeah.
But,
and a waste of good champagne.
But I'm sure there'll be lots of champagne drunk this evening for Mr. Roger-Yves Bost on Ballerine du Villepillon. So definitely a huge highlight, I'm sure, for him. And again, everybody just congratulating the riders and Simone Gillespie gave him a run for the money, 1 second, not much in it, and it was lovely seeing that footage of the two of them doing that round and how little separated the two horses in terms of going over the finishing line.
Yeah, and a prize also for Johan Sebastian Gulliksen of Norway, 3rd place, no barriers knocked down, and finishing at a time of 37.06 seconds.
Absolutely. British rider. So the British rider on 4th. You'll see this lap of honour. The crowds all love leaning in and sort of tapping people's hands as they go around. It's certainly been a wonderful few days of competition.
But what about this next man? We love him here in Hong Kong, don't we?
And it is incredible how all these horses travel around the world so easily and perform to such an amazing level. These horses only arrived into Hong Kong.
Yeah, a big part of their life is the travel on
absolutely.
and off planes. It's the logistics.
They travel so they travel very easily and happily, and all the logistics of certainly the horses being able to travel from the airport to the expo. The Asian World Expo is not a long distance, but all the logistics of the Hong Kong Jockey Club have helped get them all into this venue, and they'll be all heading back. All these horses heading back home in the next 24 hours. Certainly, I'm sure this is a moment here for Roger Bost to enjoy the moment. Fantastic result. Here's our lap of honour, and I'm always amazed how when people, the riders tap their hands as they go past, and no one ends up losing a phone. There's all the crowds there. Oh, there goes a rosette, I think. Great result. All the riders saying their goodbyes. And I'm sure the winner of the class, Roger Bost, there just taking it in, and in fact going for another lap round. Big smiles. And the French winner of this Grand Prix, the Longines Hong Kong International. for another lap. And I would. If I just won a 5-star, I'd go for quite a few laps. Look at this. Very popular winner.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in a moment here. Stay with us. Welcome back. Well, Joss, we really had to check the times there to work out second and third.
Absolutely.
No doubt, though, about first place.
Absolutely, and what a class! It couldn't have been any better. And we had all those initial horses in the jump off having the 4 faults, and then we had a little flurry of clear rounds at the end. And it was wonderful seeing that bit of footage where they had the 2 horses showing the real marginal difference between the first and second place of that second difference, and it was all on that last turn back to that Oxer, that Longines spread right at the end. And Roger Yves Boss there winning the class, and as he said in his interview, he hasn't won a 5-star for a very long time, so there he is there, as you can see on the screen, super happy, and really saw him absorbing the moment afterwards at prize giving.
And just always amazing to see a veteran riders at this age still winning. It's fantastic to watch.
Absolutely, and as you can see, we had John Whitaker here as well, and he's 70, so it goes to show that it's the horses that need to be young enough and athletic enough, and the riders with all their wisdom and experience are the ones that form the partnerships that can really compete at this amazingly high level at the 5-star here.
So, Joss, we just see the glitzy part of this. We see the exciting competition, we see the VIPs, whining and dining, but there's a huge amount of logistics to make this happen.
Oh, very much so. And it's the Hong Kong Jockey Club have really worked on all the logistics to facilitate getting the horses from the airport to the venue, and they'll be doing that again first thing in the morning. The horses will be returned.
In fact, your evening's just beginning, basically.
Absolutely, yes. The horses will be, after they've been pampered and had a good rest, first thing in the morning they'll be on flights back to Europe, and
you'll be involved in that. You're heading off from here.
Yeah, part of the Jockey Club, all the logistics for this amazing week of competitions been supported by the club. So it's been fantastically good fun, and very much looking forward to having this again next year. It's a great new week in the annual calendar.
Okay, Joss. Well, thanks very much for your help, and thank you for watching. That's all we have time for. Good night.